You're watching Nappicast by Jason Nappy. Weather, sun coming up, some fog, especially in southern Maine right now. Get to that forecast in just a second. Temperatures warming up big time ahead of a cold front that's going to be pushing through later on today. Here is a look at temperatures right now. And check this out. We've got 20s, teens, obviously on the colder side, but that wind out of the south here ahead of the cold front is going to warm things up quite a bit to the 40s and 50s. So get ready for a big warm up. Let's take a look at some cameras around the state. Northern Aroostook Regional Airport, a mixture of sun and clouds right now. It is dry. In Hancock County at Bar Harbor, you got some wavy clouds going on there, mixture of clouds and sun. In Brunswick, down towards the airport on the mid-coast, pretty much overcast. And over towards Sanford, there's the fog, right? Visibility is quite low, and it's going to stay that way for a little bit longer before we lift that fog, get the wind to pick up out of the south. In Bangor, mostly cloudy to overcast right now. That's the situation with the temperatures. Let's get into the forecast and show you what's going on now. But first, I want to thank our sponsor for the love of food and drink at O'Hara's Kennebunk. Morning Walk Lane. Soups, salads, sandwiches, treats, and meals to go. Thursday to Sunday, 10 to 4. Thank you for being our sponsor today. Let's get into that forecast now and show you. This is the next really several hours, kind of like the next 2 days. So we'll go into, this is Wednesday, you get a little sneak preview here where it's clear and dry, no precip at all Wednesday, but I'll back things up to Tuesday in a second here and show you that weak cold front that comes through. It's mostly moisture starved, but it is going to be coming through from the west here. So Wednesday into early Thursday, it's clear. This is Tuesday afternoon. Watch the mountains get it first, Clayton Lake up towards Caribou, and then that kind of actual front moves through Caribou and Holton. It doesn't really make it to the coastline. I wouldn't expect more than a sprinkle. And this is mostly on the rain side. And we clear out by really Wednesday morning, Wednesday middle of the day. So that is over and gone. The forecast on Nappy's notes is 50s and sun today. Really everywhere except the mountains, I think, get 50s. With a weak cold front coming through, and that'll cool us down just a little bit, and then a run for 60 this weekend. Yes, outside of the mountains, obviously, and probably the coastline too. Rain and wind Sunday into Monday. That's the next significant storm to come through. That's going to bring that snowmelt and some ice situations, ice jams on the rivers as those rise. Clouds to sun today on Tuesday, winds south 10 to 20. That's why we're going to get to the 50s outside of the mountains. But the mountains get close. The western mountains are making a run for 50. Awfully close at 49. Sunset at 6:40. Tonight, clouds and stars. You get that mountain rain to come through. A northwest wind 10 to 15. Will cool down. Temperatures will be 12, 28, 31. And we've got, obviously, temperatures cooling off, but still, I don't expect a lot in the way of it being incredibly, slippery, but certainly watch out when the temperature drops below freezing. For the Mariners, a small craft is up today. Same thing tonight. Seas are building 5 to 6 feet as that front's going to come through. Here's the forecast the next 10 days. Sun and clouds in the mountains. We got that shower activity coming through later on this evening and tonight, so it's not really in this forecast. It's in the overnight time while you're sleeping. Mostly sunny Wednesday, and then same thing, Wednesday night to Thursday, another weak system. It's not really here, pictured graphically, but Thursday it's cloudy from that leftover system. And then sun, clouds on Friday. Saturday, partly sunny, 51 to 39, and then Sunday, 53, 41. That's the storm coming in. It's going to be pushing an inside runner track, so we're going to get the wind of the south. It's going to get us up in the 50s, and then St. Patrick's Day, it's 44 with leftover rain showers, and the wind dies down late into Tuesday, where we cool down to the 40s for highs instead of 50s. Here's the forecast Tuesday. Obviously, a little bit of a spring fever preview. 53 Tuesday. We cool down with that front coming through tonight, but then warm right back up for a run for 60 on Sunday. We'll be at 58 degrees, 54 Monday for the holiday, and then a slight cool down, but right back to the 50s. These temperatures are running several degrees above typical for this time of the year. 52, 42, 41. A typical high this time of year around the coastline and inland is around 39, 40. So we're going to be above that just about every day and a run close to 60 Sunday. But because the wind is out of the south off the Gulf of Maine and obviously the water temperature is 40s, we're not going to, I don't think we get to 60 along the coastline, but we'll be close, and there's going to be a bunch of snow melt, about a half to 3/4 of an inch of rain. I could see us up getting, closer to an inch depending on those heavier pockets of bands come through, and I'll fine tune that forecast over the next several days. Thank you for watching Jason Nappy Weather and Nappicast.com. You can get the latest updates on Nappicast.com and on my Facebook page.